She's mighty, mighty, just letting it all hang out, 'cause she's a brick house. She's rocking it 1 pound at a time, rocking it 1 pound at a time. A brick house, hashtag 1 pound at a time. Hello everyone, it is your girl, Boss Lady Lexi. Welcome to another voiceover video. In this video today, I will be discussing how I met my birth parent, my feelings towards my birth parent, and how I grew up always wanting to meet my birth parents, but the outcome may not be what you all expect. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, I've told this story a few times here on my channel. However, I really don't remember like all of the titles and things like that I could put like in the cards explaining exactly how the whole situation came about. But just a brief scenario, I was on the bus one day. I believe I was like 25 at the time. 25 or 26. I was somewhere in that age, because I remember I had Shamira at the age of 27. So it was like close in there. So I'm going to say 26. I was on the bus and this lady was staring at me, and I didn't know why she was staring at me. So I confronted the lady to ask her why was she staring at me. And long story short, she said that I looked like somebody that she knew. And I just happened to ask her name, and she told me what the person's name was. And she didn't quite work with the person. She actually worked with her brother. So she had to I gave her my number, because the name that she told me was the name that was on my birth certificate. But, I didn't pay it too much mind. I got off the bus and I went on into work, and I explained to everybody at work, what happened while I was on the bus. And, never paid anything more of it, and I went home, and like maybe a month or two later, my phone rang, and there was somebody on the phone crying, and I didn't know why the person was on the phone crying. So, I hung up, because I wouldn't have known anybody who would have been calling me at that time in the morning crying, and they didn't say anything. So later on, I took the phone off the hook, and then this lady, she was like, the person that is on the phone crying, says that you are her long lost daughter. So that made me think, are you my birth mom, birth mother, person who pushed me out? So that's how we're going to get into this story. So I called my cousins up and told my cousins that this lady was coming to my house, and that she claimed that she is my biological mom. And I was just like, okay, y'all just come, because, back then it wasn't like too much crazy foolishness going on in the world like is going on now. And I just was like, long story short, my cousin opened the door, and lo and behold, it was a lady that looked like me. Now, long story short, these people that I am calling my cousins, they're technically not my cousins. But you know how you just become best friends with someone or friends with someone, and you just grow to liking them, and you say, oh, this is my cousin, because they adopt you into their family, or let you into their family. That's how it is. And towards the end, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Um, so, you know, me and my cousin, um, we sat there and talked to her. And, my first question was, why did you give me away? And that question was overlooked, like I never even asked the question. It was ignored. So she was like, well, you have a grandmother. And lo and behold, my grandmother lived. And when I'm speaking now in uh reality, or like I don't know how to explain it because it's kind of hard, but titles, that's what it is. I'm using them in as titles. Okay. So, um my mother's mother, she lived in Baltimore as well, but she didn't live too far from me. She lived like 4 streets over, 4 or 5 streets down. But I would have never known. And I asked her that same question. Why did you let your daughter give me away? Why didn't y'all keep me? Why didn't y'all raise me? And again, the question was overlooked. It was like I never asked the question again. And I think at one other point in time in my life, I asked the question again and I got no answer. So when I got no answer, that means to tell me, like F you, screw you, you don't deserve to get an answer. You're like a nobody. So you don't deserve an answer. And that's how I am at today. Um, no one should ever experience this type of pain, this type of loss, this type of loneliness. It's just like, um it's so awful to know that I know I would feel bad if I had a child and I gave the child up, to live in a foster home or to be adopted, um, into another family, knowing that I am well able and capable of raising a child because you had another child before me. And even after I was born, you had the audacity to raise your brother's children as your own. You raised your husband's children as your own. So, again, it just boils down to, ugh, what happened? Why am I that black seed? Why am I that awful person that nobody wants or wanted? You know, even living in a foster home, they did adopt um, one of the children that was there. And I'm like, why did they choose that person to, adopt them? I don't know. I can't answer these questions because I do not have any answers. The only thing I can say is that it is a awful, awful feeling, to know that Nobody wants you, no one loves you. The way I was treated, was absolutely horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. But, one day I went to the house, um, and there was a meeting, and the people there were her brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins. Her mother was there. Her other daughter was there. And they were like, "Who is that girl sitting out there?" I was just sitting there by myself. I was just minding my own business. I wasn't bothering anybody. I was just sitting there. And I could hear them asking questions like, "Well, why does she look like us?" You know, um, they didn't really say too much to me because they didn't know who I was. They just spoke hello, and I said hi. And I remember them all going into a back room, into somebody's bedroom. I don't know. I really don't even know where I was. To be honest with you, now that I think about it to this day, I don't even know where I was, to be honest. I can't even remember. I just know I was at somebody's house. And they all went into this back room, and I could hear them talking. And they was like, there was a big secret. Here we go with those secrets. Y'all know I can't stand freaking secrets. Because secrets will come out to destroy a person, destroy a family. She was like, "Well, remember when I was gone for X amount of time? Well, I went away because I had a baby, and she's sitting out there in the other room. And she was in foster care all this long time." So, there was conversation like, "Why didn't you tell us? Why we could have raised her ourselves? We could have helped you, da 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 da." But yet the room got silent. There was still no answers. So, the men came out, which entitled are my uncles, and they were like, "We're so sorry that this happened to you. Um, we hope that you don't hold this against us because we didn't even know you even existed." And to carry a secret like that for 25 years, 26 years, that's a long time, man. That is a very, very, very long time. So, as time went on, I got pregnant, and I was pregnant with Shamira. So, technically, Shamira would have been her first grandchild because entitled, my sister, she didn't have any kids. So Shamira would have been the first grandchild. Well, is the first grandchild. But she's taken on, her husband's children as, the prized possession, um, the world's best grandmother of the year award goes to dot 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 dot. And um I still um didn't get too close, but I was close to the point to where I was like, she asked to borrow money, and I lent her the money. Till this day I still haven't gotten, all of the money back. um Shamira has a very, very strong relationship with her aunt Alexis. No, because the aunt didn't really care too much for Alexis, I guess because she wasn't the bright, pretty yellow child. She was the second born. So there's no no bond or relationship there. However, Shamira and her aunt are very, very close. But me, I don't um get that deep into it because I don't have any answers. And I, feel like if you couldn't tell me why you didn't keep me, and I kind of sort of know, because if you was 16 and on my birth certificate it says that my biological father is 20, then technically that's statutory rape. So, since somebody, I'm not going to say that the person, took something from her because wasn't there. It could have been consensual, but since, you know, there was an age difference, that might be why, you know, I was kept a secret. I don't know, y'all. I really don't have all of the answers. I really don't. I just don't have them. It's very painful to talk about this, um, because everyone should grow up with a mother and a father, you know, parents. And I really wish that I didn't wait so long to now pursue um, into getting adopted, because, I'm older. And that's just like that saying goes, once you reach a certain age from being a baby, I believe, to like 5 years old, they don't want you. No one wants you because everybody wants babies. They feel like if they adopt, you know, older children, teenagers, and things like that, they're going to be disrespectful, um, and things like that. So I know it's probably a slim chance that I'll never ever get um, the family that I should have as adopted parents. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay. I mean, I'll still be sad and things like that, but it's nothing I can do about it. But keep pressing for and going after something that I want, and not give in to what the world says or what society says. Um, I really just think, technically, I would have probably turned out to be a better person than what I am now. Um, I just don't know or have the answers to a whole lot. But I will say this is that, everybody's story is different. Um, One of my brothers, they did reach out, and he found his biological mother and father. And, it was pretty much the same thing, because the one day I talked to him and I was like, "Oh, how was the bond between, meeting your biological parents?" And he was like, "Just like yours." He said he was like, he's glad he's met them, but on the other hand, I guess because things, again, you've missed so much, and it's really hard for you to play catch up. You can't, you've missed so much. You know, the child's first words, for first steps, first day of going to school, high school, proms, all of that kind of stuff. You miss all of that. So I guess they figure, oh well. So that's my story of meeting, entitled, my birth mother for the first time. I still don't have an answer as to why I was given away. But if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section and I will answer them. And I'll see you all in the next video.